morning, everybody. Breakfast time. Welcome back. We're starting today with some beef stock that I made a week ago. Nice and hot. Beef stock's been around for hundreds of years, but now it's really trendy and cool because they call it gut healing bone broth. Yes, it does have really good health benefits for your digestion. I'm not going to go any further than that because I'm not a nutritionist. But I'm having mine with a little extra powder that's just helping me with some health things that just are making improvement. So, cheers.
Cheers. Yum.
Pork chops today. Farro, one of my favorite grains. I love the flavor. Easy to cook. I just cook it until it's tender in a lot of water and then drain it off. I've got some Puttanesca topping today that I used for the shot that we did. We were on channel 2 yesterday morning at 8:45 talking about the cookbook, talking about mixed match make and take, talking about Cancer Awareness Month. And so that was the topping. That recipe is in the cookbook. Pretty straightforward and easy and really delicious and full of good Mediterranean flavors.
And side note, any proceeds that we receive, or any book sales that we do, 10% goes to Make-A-Wish.
Did you guys all get that?
To the end of the year.
For the rest of the year, all proceeds from the cookbook, 10% goes to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which
Yes.
we partnered up for cancer awareness. So, as we all know, I'm a cancer survivor. I'm looking pretty good. Nobody can say for certain, but I certainly eat better than the average person. And obviously, if I'm doing better, why would I change my diet now?
Mm-hmm.
So off we go. Pan's getting hot. Pork chops are dried, kept on a separate cutting board for cleanliness sake, sanitation sake. So I want to get those cooking. These are thin pork chops. They're going to take about 7 or 8 minutes to get fully cooked. That's about it. So I better hustle up, get everything else ready. Long pepper grinder. Remember to get that fixed. In other words, buy some whole peppercorns and load them in. Dried protein so it won't stick. And I always season every side that's going to touch the pan, for lack of a better way of saying it.
I like your tip to season everything that you can see.
Yeah, I think it's just an easy way to think of it. Some things are actually have more than 2 sides. And in they go. So let's get our vegetables going. The broccoli is going to take longer to cook. Again, a little overstock. It's no longer leftovers. That's plenty for 2 people. We're going to cut it nice and thin. Interesting, uncommon wisdom, talking to a doctor who studied nutrition. He was telling me, and you notice I'm blaming somebody else for this information, that frozen foods actually contain more nutrition than old vegetables. Frozen vegetables contain more nutrition than old vegetables. Which sounds pretty strange. Let's all agree to that. But when you think about it, it does go to one thing I was talking about on the Modern Eater show last Saturday night, and that is local grown, local produce, local foods, buying local. When you think about local, you're thinking about vegetables that don't have to travel very far. They're in-state. And the travel can have an impact on the quality of the vegetables as well as the nutrition. You know, everything decays, and so you can lose nutrition by just having it sit on a truck for a couple of days. I don't have any scientific proof of that. I've yet to study that, but it is one more reason why to think local, buy local, and which is never really should be an issue. Any chance you get to buy local. So supporting local farmers markets, support stores that sell local. Obviously there's issues with that because one thing we know is that not everything's in season all the time, especially if you're here in Colorado. We know there's seasonal, certainly a lot of seasonal foods that are out there. Rocky Ford cantaloupe, to give you a perfect example. Olathe corn. Is it Olathe or Olaf? I never knew.
Olathe.
Oletha? See, I can't.
Olathe.
Olathe.
Yep.
There you go. Olathe corn.
At least that's how they pronounce it in Kansas.
It works for me. Mini peppers. These are sweet peppers. These aren't spicy peppers. I don't necessarily need to get bombarded with spice every morning, but I do like, of course, my Cholula, which you'll know if you've been watching the show. So my pork chops are just happily cooking away, keeping the temperature a little high. And let's take a look. Yeah, we'll just get them a little bit browner before we turn them over. Now the broccoli is going to take the longest to cook. I wanted to get in there because I want to make sure that's nice and tender. So, as always, the vegetables go in, and I'll save these tender bits for adding later. The vegetables go in the opposite amount of time they take to cook. Whatever takes the longest to cook goes in first. Simple. Life should be simple. It's already complicated enough. Let's keep things simple whenever we can. So there we go. Now I'm going to flip those chops. They just got a light brown on them, but that's all good. They're going to be a dark brown because they're thin, and I'm not going to worry about getting dark brown if it means overcooking the inside. My Farro gets microwaved. Literally what I'm going to do. Get a couple portions in there. This also was for the morning show yesterday. We served that with the Puttanesca, with some chicken. All right. There we go. Gave that broccoli a little bit of a head start. And because we're having the pork chops, they'll just fit. We can get the rest of our vegetables in there. Dirty, one less pan. That's the key. You don't want to have a big cleanup after your meal. And then season the salt, pepper, and of course our ever-loving turmeric. The store is about 6-7 weeks old. It's getting down pretty low. So it may be time for some more soon, but every breakfast. As I mentioned before, I think the most important thing to remember about the turmeric, it's not going to have a dramatic change in flavor to your food. So if you're worried about it overpowering other flavors, like say the powdered ginger, which you're really going to taste, but it's going to help your digestive issues. Turmeric is such a mild flavor. It's just going to give a little color, give a very soft flavor. Pretty much going to go with everything. So you never have to worry about doing a big flavor change that might be on the peeling. So, time to nuke the Farro. Takes about a minute to reheat. Now we're really off to the races. So, stir it up. Little darling, stir it up. Pork chops are almost done. They're just firming up. That guy's just starting to firm. It's a little thinner than the other one. As we always say, thinner proteins cook faster than thicker. And we definitely want our pork about medium. I'm just going to put a touch of oil in there. Gordon Ramsay isn't watching. What's his big thing? Drizzling white truffle oil over everything?
Oh, I think so, but it sounds good.
Yeah, but it seems to set him on fire, so who knows? It's all for show anyway. I've been yelled at by better than him. Okay, I got one pork chop done. Nice and firm. It's coming out. One pork chop a little bit thicker, and that gives me a little more surface area. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to crank up my omelet pan and saute my greens in the omelet pan just to get that knocked out. I have my favorite super greens, and we got some flaxseed meal that's going to go over our finished product. So my omelet pan's a little hot. We're just going to dust off this entire thing, which I've already taken a portion or two out of. Bit of relief in there. Touch of seasoning. We're in the home stretch. Vegetables are starting to soften up. You can see that color change in the onions. You can see those squash is just starting to soften up a little bit. Pork chop's getting firm, so out he comes. Spread that out. And turn it down. Keep it warm so the hardest part about sauteing greens is keeping them in the pan.
Yep.
They love to chase around and fall out. So we're just careful. They cook quick. They love to fall out. Don't set the towel on fire, Dan. Again. I think I've set literally about 500 towels on fire over the almost 4 years. Seems to be one thing I'm really good at. Here's our whoop. That's it.
What was your breakfast specialty when you worked in the kitchens?
Oh, my breakfast specialty? God. Well, I used to have to make 150 eggs Benedicts every Sunday for brunch, and I'd poach the eggs off on Saturday, but it was every Sunday for years. Call it my specialty? It's almost like my nemesis. But yeah, we did a lot of eggs Benedict. It was a real popular item on Sunday brunch, so I also made a really killer hollandaise, which we just don't eat that anymore. So, but yes, I've been guilty of cooking a lot of Sunday brunches. Fortunately, I never had to have a steady job as a breakfast cook. Probably one of the reasons why I'm still alive today. Okay, Jody's eggs are coming in. This will be our last segment, so in go the eggs. And now we can build our plates while the eggs are cooking. We like over medium, so we're having over medium. Last week we did a little bit of a scramble, but my favorite preferred method is over medium. So here's how this plate's going to get built. We got our lovely vegetable and sauteed greens, so we're just going to stack that up. As always, my favorite way is put the eggs on top of the veggies. We got a nice big vegetable. We got nice rainbow vegetables. Eating the bloody rainbow. And as evenly as possible, we're dividing that up. The amazing part about this breakfast, I had a guest shooter last week, and the amazing part, I gave her a huge plate of food, and when she was done eating, she said, I don't feel stuffed, I just feel full, I feel satisfied. This food doesn't sit heavy on your stomach. That's one of the keys. Practice your flip. We're still trying to get Jody to do that right.
I got it now. I got it now.
Next week, Jody's flipping her own egg.
I can do it now.
And here's our sprinkle of the flaxseed. You won't taste this either. You can just sprinkle this on. It won't have any flavor. You might notice a little bit of texture, but it's just one more nutrition enhancement as we're moving forward in life that can help. So, eggs over medium. Whoop! You know, presentation. There we go. And we're just going to put some of this Puttanesca right in the center of the whole mess so you can spread it out with every bite. And there's breakfast. So, have a good one. We'll be back next week. Not sure if we're going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, but we will be
Thursday.
On Thursday.
You're going to Napa.
I'm going to Napa. We'll be back Thursday. That's
We'll be
right.
back Thursday.
Napa, 18th, 19th, and 20th for some learning about a new product coming out of Japan that's going to supposedly be beneficial to the American culinary scene. Let's hope. So we'll see you Thursday, a week from tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.